What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Richard Riakporhe versus Krzysztof Glowacki, 10 rounds in the Cruiserweight division on the Chris Eubanks and Liam Smith card. Let's get into it. Let's start with Richard Riakporhe. 15 wins, no losses, 11 wins by way of knockout. Richard had a pretty good year to me, in my opinion. He had 2 fights and he won them both by knockout against good quality opponents. Glowacki is no slouch, right? He's going to bring it this weekend. And I think Richard needs to have another big performance this weekend as he inches closer to a possible title shot, especially if he can win this fight in convincing fashion as he did the previous ones. I think that sets him up in the right direction. But Riakporhe, he's got a lot of strengths in his physicality alone, right? Like he's 6'5", so he's coming into this one 5 inches taller than Glowacki, right? And then you mix that with his reach. He's just got some physical advantages that you can't really teach, right? Like you're born with that. And with that reach, he's gotten so much better at using that reach to his advantage. One thing I've noticed for him, though, in the recent 3 fights is how much more patient he is and more tactical in his approach that he's become. He's an imposing figure who can punch, but he's added that strategy to it where he's going to pick the right spots, right? He'll lull you to his flow, and the next thing you know, he's on the attack and you walk into a shot you didn't think was coming. He's a good body puncher. Took out his last 2 opponents with a body shot. He's gotten better with his movement as well. He's not staying in the pocket and just trading shots. He's going to use his footwork to help him get in better angles to land his shot or get out of his opponent's way where he's defensively responsible, where he doesn't take those big punishing shots as he is giving out. Going back to his recent fight against Fabio Turki, who I think is a good boxer, right? I think he's got some skill. He ended that fight with a punishing shot to the ribs, right? Like you could feel it through the screen. I'm actually glad Turki's corner came in and stopped the fight, because if they would have let that fight continue going, man, those ribs would have been cracked. It would have just been a beating, because it's hard to get back into the fight when you can't even catch your breath. And Turki lost all breath in that fight after he took that shot. But when you look at that shot, it's kind of how he set up the shot in previous movements and shots that he was doing before, right? He did different variations prior towards the shot that ended out the show. He pushed a jab with one hand to set up the shot he wanted in the round before. One round he went to the head and Turki blocked it. The other time he did the same thing but went to the body and that shot landed. So he's thinking in real time about how he can get through and land what he wants. And I don't think many people can take a clean flush shot from Richard Riakporhe, right? He's got that natural power. That always helps when you got that power to help you out, especially if you're ever in trouble and need to get back into the fight. Against Dion Juma, he had to make some adjustments on the fly and kind of outthink Juma, because Juma came in and hit him from different angles that he probably didn't see consistently before. Juma was picking up the pace. He was feinting. He was doing a whole bunch of different things that could have frustrated Richard Riakporhe, right? But I thought Richard stayed composed, right? He was patient and counterpunched very well in that fight and floored Juma in the 4th round by catching him with a counter shot, right? Juma came back and tried to get back in the fight, but in the end, the power was too much, and another body shot closed out the show. Richard has came a long way inside of the ring, and right now, I think he's fighting at his best, right? He doesn't have to hit you on the chin to lay you down. His body work has been very impressive, and I'm thinking he's going to try to do more of the same, try and set up that body shot in this fight as well. But let's talk about his opponent, Krzysztof Glowacki. 32 wins, 3 losses, 20 wins by way of knockout. The Polish southpaw has been in the ring with some heavy hitters, right? He's also captured the WBO Cruiserweight title twice, when he beat Marco Huck and when he beat Maxim Vlasev. So this is a former champion, right? So he knows how to handle the moment and the pressure. Not to mention, he was in the ring against Alexander Usyk, where he lost that one by unanimous decision. In 2019, he was in there against Myris Briedis, who was the champion before he lost his title to Jai Apatea. And after the Briedis fight, he jumped in there and took another tough fight against Lawrence Okolie, who is one of the champions in the division as well, right? So Glowacki is a strong and tough fighter. He's got good size. He's got good pop in his shots. He's got good movement in the ring and seems to be aware of what he is doing and where he is in the ring. I remember when he was fighting Alexander Usyk, and even though he lost that fight, I thought he did some good things in the fight. He caught Usyk with some good shots, right? Some looping shots, some overhand shots that had success for him. When he had Usyk on the ropes, right, he let his hands go, but Usyk ultimately was in control of that fight. The movement, he couldn't keep up with the angles Usyk was taking, right? And Usyk just found different openings, and he was just too much for him that night. The good thing is that Richard Riakporhe doesn't move like Usyk, so that's a good thing. Against Briedis, right, which was an interesting fight because Briedis hit him with an elbow, and I don't think Glowacki actually recovered from that shot. Then they were fighting when the bell was rung, like 10 seconds after they were still slunging shots, and he got dropped, right? So it was just kind of a strange fight to me. Then in the next round, Glowacki and Briedis came out of the gates swinging without either guy being defensively responsible, and Glowacki got caught with a shot that dropped him, and it was over after that. Against Lawrence Okolie, he was trying to bait Okolie into coming in where he could catch him with the shot and counter him, right? But Okolie saw what he was trying to do, used his jab to set up his shots, kept that distance, kept moving around the ring until eventually Okolie waited for the perfect timing and the right time to land a shot that ultimately closed out the show, and he got the stoppage in the 6th round. So this is a fight that I'm thinking is going to go similar to that one. I don't know how much Glowacki has left. I don't know what type of Glowacki we are going to get. I still believe he has skills to make it tough, right? He's won his last fight by stoppage, so he's still operating at a high level, but I don't think he's in that stage right now where he can beat a guy like Richard Riakporhe, who is athletic and skilled, right? I could be wrong, and it's a fight, so anything is possible, but from what I see some of his strong suits starting to fade as he ages. The pop is still there, yes, but can he put himself in those positions where he needs to be against a bigger, more athletic guy who's getting sharper in the ring? The more he gets into the ring, I think it's just going to be tough for him to beat Richard Riakporhe. So who wins? I have Richard Riakporhe winning by KO, TKO. I think Riakporhe comes in, stays patient, not a lot of volume in the first few rounds, and then he will pick up the pace and catch him coming in with the body shot that finishes the fight. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways that you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.